Hello everybody, morning. Victor here once again. Well, today just trying to fix a little bit of a flat pad that we made it. We made it about 6 months ago, and it's supposed to be draining that way, but the operator did such a poor job that it actually drains towards the toe of the paddock, and I'll show you how it is. So basically the idea here is to be our food growing area. We are in a pretty steep country here in Brazil. So I decided to invest on a little bit of earth moving here, just so we have a prosperous place for veggies and for grains as well. But yeah, as I said, the idea here was for that plateau to be leaning towards the bank, and then that water will be coming down through the channel. But the operator was so poor, so basically I've been spending a couple of days here digging that channel about 1/2 meter deep, and trying to put a 1 in 100 slope there. So it's over there is probably our highest point, and then it would come down and come out over here. The other thing as well that the operator did is pretty much not only flowing this way, but it's actually in a V shape. So the plateau is filling up. It's filling up and it's causing absolutely a lot of erosion on that other side here. Yeah, we had our rainy season that just, as usual, the rain teaches, the water teaches what we've done wrong, and we just lost a lot of soil here because of that. And the soil, the water was actually running from the top, but running from below, kind of running from subsurface, kind of from over there. See there? So the soil that I've took out of the back drain there, I've started to put it over here. I still got a bit of work to do. I'm gonna hopefully bring a bit of that soil back up. But over here the idea is to do two things. One is to put a drainage pipe. So I've got the drainage pipe there. We're gonna put a bit of geofabric that was just here, put the pipe and then fill it up with gravel, to make sure that if the plateau does fill up, it has a drainage point. We cannot have any water coming on the toe, absolutely not. And then what I'm also going to do, so I make sure I left the grass pits that I've sown soon after the plateau was made. And so we're going to fill that up, and hopefully that block of grass is going to sit right just on top. So we're going to have a 15 or 20 centimeter mound as well. So try to work with both variables, either the water filling up and then draining underneath, or the water running above it. So we'll hit that berm, and then we'll work on a couple of spillways, but the site is actually draining this way as well. And once that water drains out there, I need to do a little bit of just a little bit of work, rock armoring perhaps on the side here, and then I'll have a couple of syntropic lines kind of moving in that direction there, and then in that direction there, just to make sure that that water just goes nice and smoothly, because otherwise the water is just gonna run from here all the way there and boom on that zone. So that's what we've been doing for the last couple of days. Part of the job, because what I would like to do is just to have again a 1 in 100 or 1% slope coming down, so the water just come nice and gently. We're just using those water meters, let's say, just a simple transparent hose. We have the water there with the level. You can have a look on both, and I am just slowly working my way through, kind of making little drawings just to see how more or less things are going and where I have to work. So a bit of a bump there, a bit of a bump here, and slowly I'm kind of not gonna be a 1 in 100 straight, but hopefully from the top to the bottom there will be a 1 in 100. Once I was happy with the level. That was had a nice and gentle slope this way. I just put the geofabric there, bit of a wide one. That's how they've got here, is a 2.4 meter wide. I'll probably prefer a 1.5 or maybe a 1.2. Left the shorter edge there, so, and also put the pipe. It's a 4-inch pipe or a 10 centimeter pipe, so it's a thick pipe. I've got a bit of gravel, so I'll put as much gravel as I can. Not sure if I'm gonna have a lot to do it. I might have to go and get some more. It's just a leftover from the building site here, but that's it. So fabric is in, pipe is in, Now we gotta fill it up with gravel. Continue on, 39 wheelbarrows later of little gravel. Fill it up to about, as much as I could. Some areas like here is about maybe 10 centimeters, 4 inches or so. As we went down there's a place with a bit of a dip that maybe I should have paid a bit more attention and maybe put a bit more rocks. I think over there we've probably got about 20 or so centimeters on the edge, but I'm hoping that that's not going to be a problem. I might do a little bit of shuffling, bring a little bit from there and a little bit from the back, just to level a little bit. But yeah, everywhere done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically fold this back down there and cut it here, and then from here fold it back and then bring some soil in. I think I want to keep soil to about maybe 2 fingers, maybe 3 fingers to the edge. Then I'm gonna get those pieces of grass, put it back on top, and then hopefully be creating a mound as well, a berm as well. Things are looking good now. So basically just finished filling it up. I kind of wait almost to the top because I know it's going to sink as that soil gets wet, and so that's it. So next stage I'm going to put a little bit of fertilizer, just a little bit of potassium, a little bit of phosphorus, a little bit of nitrogen over there, and some biological inoculation as well. Then I'll put my blocks, and then I hope I'm going to be able to bring out that soil close in and create a bit of a softer angle here. Let's see, there isn't a lot of material out there, but let's see what I can do. Nice. All right, I've put all that grass back together, have created a bit of a berm, bit of a mound there. Didn't have enough soil for the other side, so see, I'll figure out what I'm gonna do there. But yeah, happy with that little slope, happy with the thickness as well. It'll be good to bring a little bit of soil and just kind of close some of those gaps, which I'll do tomorrow. Had enough for today. Bit of a Sunday here, about 6 hours straight. Also, another thing that I'm gonna have to think about is if I do have a lot of water, surface water moving up here, hitting the berm and coming downhill here, which I hope not much, but if there is, then this is going to start to erode as well, because he's going to get really sharp on that downhill. So I'm just going to have to do something here, maybe some rock armoring. So I'm thinking to perhaps just cut that bank on a better slope, maybe somewhere here, and then get a bit of that soil and that grass onto the corner there, and try to create a bit of a smoother transition there. Some rock armoring. That water of course will go down there, and then over here I'm thinking to put a couple of lines. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, happy with the result so far. I hope it's problem solved. I really do. So just the other thing that I need to do now is of course give it a bit of water. Those blocks being out of the sun for almost 3 days, so a bit of water. Hopefully if I can find a bit of soil on the other side, that'll be awesome. If not, at least sow some fresh grass here and keep it moist for probably 10 days until everything takes up, and rainy season should be around the corner, I'm hope, but we'll see. Try to time that with the rainy season will be good too. And then I'm gonna try and fix this other side. I'm just gonna try and level it out. I'm not gonna try to be one perfect mound, so I'll follow the contour that has been created. Probably put a line of veggie grass on that outside edge here to try and stop that from keep coming down. I'm hoping the water not going over will do the trick, and then sow some other grasses or whatnot over there. I might have to put a layer perhaps of compost, just a bit of life, because this is just subsoil material, but we'll see. Slow progress, but I think we're doing well, and I think we'll be ready for when the rainy season comes. This place here will produce a lot of food. A few days later, I think the berm is kind of ready. I ended up bringing a bit more soil there, just to complete the other end. Put a mix of plants. There's a bit of grass, that same grass that I use here, which is a Panicum massimum. It's called Maasai grass, and then a little bit of support cocktail with millet, some daikon radish as well, some crotalaria, and a few other bits and pieces that I had there. Came over and also put a little bit of wood chip, just a tiny bit. It's literally a very thin layer, just to really protect that soil and make sure it doesn't dry out too quick, because now it's still in the middle of the drought here in Brazil, breaking some records as everywhere in the woods. So I'm basically just giving a light water maybe once or twice a day. I finished this probably a couple of days ago. Yeah, so just trying to keep the moisture. Things are really dry and windy, so not the best, but I really want that place, that berm, to be grassed up before the rainy season arrives, which seems to be a little bit late. Also here in the end we had a really steep drop, so I just kind of remove a few of the grasses and I put it in there, just to try and block once the water comes to here, that it doesn't go that way. That's the direction I like to go, but it kind of follows this contour down here. So I also put some grass seeds and some other seeds in here, a little bit of mulch, just to make sure. Yeah, I try to do like at least a 45 degrees there. So you see, again, this is gonna be a critical part of the system, so I'm gonna really have to keep an eye on that section there to make sure that's not eroding. I have to put a little bit of gravel or rock reinforcement depending on how much grass grow I've got it. I did put an extra layer of seeds right on that edge here, because that's where it will tend to move towards, and once things are growing I might put a little bit of rocks or just something just to slow that water down, and then once it hit down there it goes down onto this paddock there. So yeah, very happy with the results. A bit of work of course, but I think I've solved the problem going down and up. But time will tell, actually. The rain will tell. I'll keep you posted.